he is a heat magnet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's not a really super big guy. And I've talked about this to a lot of guys, because if a guy's 5'8" or whatever, every guy in the audience thinks they can whip his ass.
We did get a report that came out over this past weekend from WrestleNomics. Just last year, they tried to establish WWE Day One as one of these big, massive, stable, pay-per-views, right? That was what they wanted to do. They wanted to start this New Year's Day tradition. Lines up perfectly for this year's the fact that it's on a Sunday night. Perfect, right? Everything would be great. WrestleNomics says, no, actually, that's not going to be happening. It was supposed to be in Atlanta. Tickets were supposed to go on sale last month. None of that is happening. There's no rebranding. They're just canceling it, reportedly. No Day One at all, which means there's not going to be a pay-per-view between Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble. So that would be going from the end of November all the way to the end of January without a premium live event. Also here, Dutch, reportedly there are changes coming to the premium live event structure next year. Maybe getting away from the gimmicky pay-per-views a la Hell in a Cell and going with more international events. Your thoughts on all of this that's coming out here?
I love that. I hate the gimmicky pay-per-views. It's just more of the same, and you to see the same type of match 2 or 3 times a night or more, it gets old after the first 2. I mean, have a regular big card, have a lot of angles. It's like a big show. This guy has a issue here in match 2. This guy has, and the girls have a issue in match 3, and then you build on that. Then of course you're going to depend on your top 2 or 3 matches to draw your crowd anyway. Do it that way. I mean, I hate to see an all steel cage pay-per-view. I hate that. That's why I don't watch it. So, and the Hell in the Cell, I hated Hell in the Cell. I never did like that anyway. Hell, I never understood the thing. We used to do a deal called the double ring battle royal, but you can only do that so many times, because then the people said, we've seen it, but they haven't seen all the stories that you can throw at them. So, I mean, I'm a story guy. Tell me a story. Show me a conclusion, or something that splits off and goes in a different direction. I'll buy that all day long, because it's different and the story can change. But for the same gimmicky type pay-per-view all the time, I don't like it.
Well, and SP3, one of the things that we've talked about with Hell in the Cell is very rarely, since this became a specialty pay-per-view where this cage is the focus, very rarely has there actually been a feud or a storyline that merits going inside Hell in a Cell, and it's really kind of watered down the match in and of itself. I am all for this, because we're sitting here every year, we're going, well, which one of these I guess they could put this in a Hell in a Cell. I guess they could do this. Cody and Seth, all right, that one made sense. That was great. And then you add in Cody's pec, and the match ended up being, a spectacle in and of itself this year. But, I mean, man, it just completely watered down something that used to be so iconic to the point where we don't want to see it anymore. And that's not what you want out of these matches.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of disagree with was the Cody and Seth. I didn't really think that was worthy of a Hell in a Cell. It turned out to be a great Hell in a Cell match, but I don't think a guy beats another guy twice coming into a new company, and all the heel did was beat him up once, cost him a U.S. title shot, and then you get to a Hell in a Cell. Nah, that doesn't feel worthy of a Hell in a Cell after Shawn Michaels and Triple H were at war with each other for 2 years before they went to a Hell in a Cell, and Batista and Triple H's war with each other. They did a similar feud where the babyface beat the heel twice before we got to Hell in a Cell, but it felt worthy of it because of the beating that Triple H gave him. We just haven't felt that with the Hell in a Cell, so I think it's a good move to move away from these gimmick pay-per-views. They've been doing it since 2000. 2009 when they introduced Hell in a Cell and TLC. They've already pretty much scrapped TLC, and they want to focus on these big stadium shows. So getting rid of Hell in a Cell kind of opens the door for that. And in this new regime, they've kind of put an emphasis on leaving a mark or a memorable moment or match in each pay-per-view or premium live event that they've done so far under Triple H. You know, SummerSlam, you had the Brock Lesnar lifting up the ring, big spot with the forklift. Clash at the Castle, you had Solo Sikoa being introduced. You had Gunther and Sheamus, their epic encounter. And then Extreme Rules, you had Bray Wyatt's return. So just focusing on those particular type of pay-per-views and even the big stadium shows, that's what WWE needs to do right now, because they have the good regime that's going to give us the quality content that requires and that lives up to these high marked pay-per-views.
As much as I would hate it from a standpoint of it not benefiting me because it would be less interview opportunities, I wouldn't be mind if they completely scaled down the number of premium live events that they do in a year, where you're not having to book every 3 weeks or 4 weeks a pay-per-view. It kind of allows things to breathe a little bit and make some of these actual premium live events feel like a premium live event.
Well, they're making more money now than they were before with all these pay-per-views, 14 or 12 or 14 spread out over the year. And they're making more money now. And they made more money during the pandemic. Now, one reason is the Saudi deal. And now they're taking pay-per-views to Saudi. And I think if they want to be worldwide entertainment, they got to actually go worldwide.
Yeah.
So I think a good place would be Australia. I think that would be a great place to have a pay-per-view. Or Japan. Or Germany. I don't think, have you ever been to Germany?
Probably for a house show or something like that, but yeah, no. And they did do an event in Australia, didn't they? The showdown,
super showdown that had the Triple H Undertaker match. I think that was back in 2018.
Yeah, so they've been there.
Let's go to Rome. What about Rome in the Coliseum? I doubt if they could get in there, but boy, that'd be a great deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Run some chariots out there.
I mean, you got what, Roman inside the Roman Coliseum? Let's go.
See, you're already thinking. See, just a little idea.
Sells itself. Sells itself. Just have him come out there dressed up like what's his name? Russell Crowe? Hell yeah. Let's go. Get an actual lion in there. Let's go.
And I think they could. Some of the places, they have the world to go to. So I think that's as part of the draw as anything else. I would like to see a pay-per-view from Germany, or see it from Japan or Australia. You said they've already done one in Australia, and they've done them in England. But have they done one in Mexico?
No, I don't think so. Not like a major show that I remember. Not even. I think they've done like house shows. They've done house shows in Mexico. I don't know if they've done one since they started touring again, though.
Oh, I did some house shows in Mexico too that damn near killed me. And this was WWE. Because WWE is noted that the people don't get rowdy, they don't get mean. They literally was coming over the gate, over the the little barricade there. And I may have told this story before. I went back to security. I said, he wasn't with me. I said, where are you at? I was back here drinking coffee. I said, you better get your ass out there with me. Them people trying to kill me. He said, oh, shut up. Those people not going, because he was used to WWE audiences in the States. Kind of, they'll boo you a little bit, but it's all in fun. Well, he went out with me the next night. We were really close on the border of Mexico. They were cussing me in Spanish, and he looked at me. He said, you wasn't shooting me. I said, no kidding. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I told him the night before, I said, listen, I forgot his name now. He's a good guy. I said, if I get hurt out there, I'm going to make sure you get fired. And the next night, he was right there with me. So
smart man.
And I knew just enough Spanish to get the dog beat out of me. So I was talking to the fans, and they were getting mad. But anyway,
let's take all these guys out worldwide and show them what the real crowds are like.
Exactly. That's what they need.
But if you tell young guys today what the wrestling business used to be like, they look at you like, you got to be nuts. Shut up. I mean, they don't watch YouTube or anything. They don't watch any of these crowds really getting upset.
Yeah.
Because in Puerto Rico, I keep bringing it up, that's the roughest place I've ever been. I have fought my way to the ring to get there. Because it was the last match. They were all drunk. They hated me. We took 6 cops and had to, and sold out, packed. You couldn't move, standing room only, and we had to push our way through. And they were still trying to hit me. And then on the way back, it was the same deal. Crazy. See, if you get them in that zone of they don't know what's real and they don't know what's real, they start believing it. But sometimes it sounds good till they try to kill you. Then you try to say, oh, no, we were just playing. It's an angle. Hey, kayfabe.
I was going to say, at least nowadays, fans tend to be more tuned into the fact that it's an actual show, so maybe you wouldn't see that, but God knows. We have seen a couple of people at least get up onto the ring apron in AEW recently with MJF involved. So it all depends on who can generate that kind of heat.
But he is a heat magnet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's not a really super big guy. And I've talked about this to a lot of guys, because if a guy's 5'8" or whatever, every guy in the audience thinks they can whip his ass. So when he runs his mouth, I'm not afraid of you, and I'll beat your ass, and I'll send you blah, blah, blah. Finally, some of those guys they take it personally.
Yeah.
And then they end up drinking out of a straw because
they'll get punched out. Yeah.
Want to advise Mr. MJF, be careful when you go back through that crowd. Because people can go and shoot up schoolhouses, and they don't give a shit about his ass.
Well, there you go. There you have it, folks.
So be careful.
I did want to ask you, Dutch, because you said you get annoyed by the all pay-per-views with all steel cages. How was your time in TNA booking Lockdown?
I hid. That was their deal. I kind of went over there. I'd go to catering, sit down, and Dutch, they need you somewhere. I said, tell them I'll be there. Then I'd go to the other side of the building. I was basically unavailable for a lot of it because I didn't even know what was going on. I hated the concept. But I think that came from Dixie. All the matches in the cell or lockdown or whatever. She said, why don't we make them all in the cell, in the cage? And Jeff and Vince said, okay, let's make them. I think at that point, Jeff didn't give a crap. Vince didn't give a crap. I didn't give a crap. They said, we'll just throw them all out there. And even the talent looked at us, they said, why is every match in the cage? And they said, well, it's what they wanted to do.
The higher ups, the higher ups.
Don't ask me. So
went over my head.
Oh.